Yeah, so this is a small demo video for the VR space in automotive showroom. Say there's a customer who is coming to a store, and he's approaching to the sales rep to showcase to show the cars. So the sales rep takes him to a physical car and shows him the features in it, like tells him about the car, the model, the petrol or diesel model, and what are the features in it and stuff like that. And so the user also goes on to explore the physical car by touch and feel. And later on, he sits into the car, he touches the steering and stuff like that, and he really feels how the car is. And later on, he can still continue to ask different questions about the product to the sales rep, which the sales rep would be providing based on his knowledge and stuff like that. So based on about the product. And later on, say the sales rep in the conversation, the sales rep can actually say that there are more technology which can be showcased you in a better way, and probably invite him for a VR session. And say the user accepts to take it, like maybe explain what is VR, and he takes it. And then the sales rep goes to set up the VR solution, like VR setup for the customer. So first, let's say he can collect the data like the name, contact details, and other age, gender, and things like that. This can be used like a lead information. So later on, the company can use this to continue to know the status of the customer regarding the purchase. And say once the VR system has been set up, there is this VR space, and you have these. So the customer as well as the sales rep can have their own VR headset, and they can explore the VR environment. Say this is the kind of a first person view of the customer. A similar view would be there for the sales rep as well once they are into the VR world. So I just thought maybe having the car 3D model of the car, and having some sort of demo area in the virtual space would be better to showcase the features of the car, apart from exploring the car and stuff like that. So I'll explain you about that in the later part. And there could be even a control palette, which can be for the customer as well as for the sales rep, or it can be there should be some sort of interaction with the object in the world. And say later on, like yeah, with this so now in the virtual world, the user is free to actually select the color car, customize the car however he wants. There he can select the rim of the rim type, the tire types, the he can customize it just like how you see in games and all, to modify the character, modify some object. And later on, he can even view the car in different environments, backgrounds, like in the city background, the in a terrain, stuff like that. And he can change the sunset, the different lighting conditions, and maybe yeah, what are all the other features that we can provide to change the environment and see how the car looks in that environment. And he can also customize the interiors, like the fittings, the steering type and stuff like that. And yeah, so this till this point we just saw the how the customization of the car can be done, which is a very common thought. Now there are some certain features which can be showcased in VR than in real world, which is actually difficult and dangerous to show in real world. Mostly these are being shown as a video than showing in the real world. So we can also include that kind of demos in the VR environment, something like showing about ABS, like you can show with and without ABS how the car stops, how fast it stops, and what are the implications. It can even show other things like airbags, surround view system, like how the what are the current features of this particular car, and what are the add-ons. If you add these things, how would this car look like, and stuff like that. And this can be shown in a first person view or third person view. It's up to the imagination. And other different VR, other features can be demoed through VR. So it's just you can scale it. And so with all these things happening in the back, all these things happening with the customer and the sales in the background, since we know we have been tracking the users activities, so we can actually use these tracked activities, actions, use artificial intelligence, machine learning methods to extract insights about the user behavior, and do some sort of recommendation system, understand the user. Like if we have a huge if we have a data set for a long time, we can understand the type of market it is, and it could this kind of information would be helpful for future products for the company, and even for designing the marketing and sales part. And yeah. And so the other thing is, once it's all complete, the user can once the user has made a purchase, the final consolidated lists of items, like let's say what is the model the user has selected, the color, the dashboard type, wheels, music system, what is the other add-ons that user has asked, things like that can be consolidated into a PDF or some the in the respective document that the company requires, and can be sent to the manufacturing. So such kind of features can also be done. And one more thing is that we can also have these customization process, the whole process, as for over a time. So remember I told you about registering the customer. So when you do that, you can get a customer ID, and from the customer ID you can extract all the modifications that the person has done. And say a person does some customization today, and he comes again after a month or so with some other thought in his mind, and with more research done. He can continue to work with the model that he has customized long back. And that way you can have interaction with the customer on the VR space for a longer time. And this probably is a solution for the user experience for during the purchase, and this the final purchase, before the final purchase, how things would look, and then make a purchase, something like that. So yeah. And one more thing is, once the person has made purchase, or during the purchase, the user can actually log into his web page, look from his house as well. He can extract um, the car model that he has designed, that the car model, and he can also share it with his friends, family, through social media and stuff like that. So which actually even increases the um, yeah increases the marketing uh, of the company, of the brand, and things like that. Yeah, that's it.